Hey, how's it going, guys? Recorder here. In this video, I'm going to break down the exact steps you should be taking to how to rank within ChatGPT, but not only within ChatGPT, but other generative search engines. So why is this important and how do you do it? So basically, the overall rundown is there's a lot of, chat going around saying SEO is dead, which is like every other year, but specifically recently within 2025, and people are saying like this is not really worth the time and investment when it comes to your overall SEO strategy. But this is because people don't really know how to pivot and really start taking advantage of the underlying shift when it comes down to the search market share when it comes to SEO, becoming more of a shift towards GEO or generative engine optimization. I'm gonna leave a link in the description too to dive deeper into this, but basically, just a shorter breakdown of this is basically conducting searches when it comes to different LLM models. So you have like SearchGPT, Perplexity, Claude, etc. And a lot of people are conducting their searches this way because there's just much more of like a dynamic search when you're looking for something really specific, and it's basically pulling a lot of data when it comes to the overall search engines and generating a really in-depth response. So for example, if you have like a really long paragraph specifically for a certain question or just like a longer sentence overall, Google doesn't really provide enough context or just like relevant basically search results when it comes to that. Um, and we can just break down the overall generative AI chatbot market share. So we can see here like overall a majority of this, basically about 60% of this is ChatGPT. Then you have Microsoft Pilot, Google Gemini, which is basically Google's chatbot experience, and they're pretty much working on other AI features as well when it comes to search, Perplexity, Claude, and a lot more. And when you really look at the overall gist of just the search engine market share, this market share basically makes up about 16.45% overall of like the traditional search engine users. So that's a huge chunk when it comes to the overall percentage. And then obviously like the biggest search engine market share is Google, which is decreasing, which is why a lot of people are saying Google, like SEO is dead, because they're still trying to conduct traditional SEO marketing services where the biggest yield of return is if you make sure you optimize for all different types of search engines. Then you have Bing, which is also increasing in the market search engine share. So yeah, I think overall people are too focused on traditional SEO when it comes to Google, when a majority of, the search engine market share is decreasing and a lot more people are, utilizing other search engines. Now, I also pulled a table of the top performing generative AI search engine chatbots. And we can just basically see like the amount of percentage it has when it comes to the AI search engine market share. But if you look at the estimated quarterly growth, it's like consistent throughout every single generative search engine. So we see here ChatGPT is expected, basically estimated to have an 8% quarterly growth. And then there's like different other search engine models, such as, Perplexity, Claude, it's getting 14%, probably like the most majority of it, and a lot others. So how do you really optimize and start showing your website when it comes to ranking in AI search engines? I'm gonna break that down step by step. So basically within step one is basically just following traditional SEO basics. You wanna just look at basically the overall search volumes, do keyword research when it comes to creating content based on, the overall stage of the marketing funnel. So you have like top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, and bottom of the funnel. AI overviews basically is pulling a lot of AI overviews probably has like the most featured snippets when it comes to long tail keywords. So if you really want to start showing up more within AI overviews, it's good to really focus on long tail keywords. Um, but yeah, this is all basically focusing on high intent keywords and doing your keyword research and making sure each keyword has a certain amount of search volume that is relevant to what you're trying to rank for, and is worth basically writing that content about. And then you have the on-page SEO. You have basic elements like optimizing titles, meta descriptions, headers, having the URLs and all that jazz, making sure you have a good amount of keyword density throughout the text, which falls also under content quality. Having really in-depth content that covers a lot of bases when it comes to the topic you're writing about. Then overall technical health, such as mobile usability, fast load speed, making sure your website's secured, but not only that, but also implementing schema markup to give more context into what the content is about. So once you do have an SEO optimized pages, and you're focusing on content and your technical structure, you need to make sure you set up AI crawler access. So basically all these LLMs that I just showcased to you right here are basically pulling all their information within Bing. So what does that mean? You need to optimize for Bing. And the way you do this is basically just how you're optimizing for Google, but making sure you set up a Bing Webmasters tools, verify your site ownership, and make sure you upload your sitemap. So this is basically a client's website. I've made sure to upload all the sitemaps accordingly when it comes to the webmaster tools and made sure to verify it. So a good example of this is, for example, if I search for where can I get Starlight headliner installed in my car in the Jacksonville area, right? This is something probably somebody would be searching for where it's like really in depth. And if you search this specific query within Google, Google wouldn't really give you much of a great generative responses. So this is why a lot of people are basically moving towards LLM models, and LLM models in general are just becoming more popular. So when I search this, you can basically see my client here, Midnight Customs, midnightcustoms.com, Florida. They're ranking #1 for this specific keywords, or this specific just overall search. That's really dynamic, right? Whereas Google searches are pretty static based on the keywords you're searching for. And you, like I said before, you wouldn't really get a result when it comes to this, but it's also pulling other people who are ranking for the specific keyword. But what's also cool is it's pulling basically this YouTube video we created for them on them installing basically Starlight headliners. We made sure to optimize the YouTube video, so it's good to really see that it's pulling from different sources and it's pulling even from YouTube. So not only this, it's also important to really focus on Bing locations, which is basically like Google Business Profiles for specific for Bing. And yeah, it's really important because it's also pulling basically maps within Bing to really help when it comes to like localized type searches as well. So this is why it's extremely important to really start focusing on optimizing for LLMs. And yeah, now that we explained a little bit in depth on Bing Webmaster Tools, what's also important is optimizing your robots.txt. I've seen a couple of websites where they try to disallow the overall crawling when it comes to different LLM models. So you want to make sure your robots.txt is not blocking that. And you're able to allow these search, basically LLM crawlers to really crawl your site to have a better understanding to start getting more generative results. What's also important is the technical aspect of like fixing crawl errors, removing broken links, optimizing the URL structure, implementing schema markup, and really going in depth into all that jazz, like I explained before in the technical SEO help section. Now, in my opinion, this is the most important part when it comes to optimizing for generative engine optimization. And this is boosting your authority with backlinks and structured data, which is schema markup, which I explained before. Basically, schema markup is an HTML code that basically provides more context into what your content is about, right? So you can have article schema markup. There's even local business schema markup you can create to give more context to telling Google like, hey, this is actually a local service business website. And then you're providing more context into the location, the geo coordinates, phone number, and the overall business name. Or if you have like frequently asked questions, you can have FAQ schema. But basically, there's a lot of schema markups you can add, which is HTML code to provide more context, which helps the LLM crawlers really understand your content even more. Then what's really, really important is creating a strategic backlink campaign, right? So you really want to start earning basically backlinks, which is when website links to your website, and you're making sure you're also utilizing optimized anchor text. So for example, I'm actually gonna break down in this example so it's better understanding. But there's also a link in the description too as well that goes in depth on how to start building backlinks in 2025 if you guys want more context to that as well. So for example, we can see here there's a screenshot of someone asking Claude a really long tail not a long tail keyword, but more of just like an overall question. So it says, "Hi Claude, what office chairs are good for improving posture?" And it just basically breaks down and recommends products. So you have, best overall options, key features to look for, and budget-friendly alternatives. But you can see here, Herman Miller is basically taking up a majority of the real estate when it comes to the specific search and being recommended more often. And this is not by mistake, by the way. So basically, Herman Miller, what they did is they conducted a basically PR outreach campaign where they're just gaining a lot of links from relevant blog posts, but not only relevant blog posts, but from really high authority sites. So when you search Herman Miller ergonomics, you can see here that they're basically utilizing this anchor text within the content, right? So you have Herman Miller ergonomic within the content within 273 pages, and they're breaking it down within different topics. So you have feeling back pain, try one of these where they're basically recommending their product. They're also doing like product reviews. How is it compared to other products? And it's linking back specifically to that Herman Miller ergonomic chair. And what this does is, like I said before, when it comes to LLM models, they're basically searching throughout all of the search engines, specifically from Bing. And if they see, more of that brand mention, obviously it's going to be more of like a higher priority since you're getting more brand mentions through these backlinks, making, link building way more important than ever. Because not only would this help, within like a traditional SEO standpoint, but this will also help when it comes to ranking within these, LLM search engines, AI search engines. Right now, if you do, have a really good SEO campaign where you're basically creating optimized SEO pages, making sure that your robots.txt and your sitemaps is uploaded within Bing and your robots.txt are fully optimized, making sure these LLM models are crawling your pages. Then you're focusing on a lot of PR or just overall backlinks to increase more of that brand mention specifically for the type of product or service you're basically trying to market. It's important to really look at the data since the underlying data will give you feedback into what's working, what's not working, and how to really pivot your overall strategy. And if it's like a saying, if it isn't broken, don't fix it type of mindset. But you really want to look into the analytics side of things and look deep into like the overall traffic rankings, via Google Search Console, Bing Webmaster Tools, looking at your Google Analytics. So for example, we can see here like you can basically go into your Google Analytics profile page and really look at the page referrer and really seeing what type of LLM models are referring like your website or your overall content. You can reverse engineer like, okay, what are the steps I did to really rank within the LLM models for this specific page and search queries, what type of LLM models are referring me the most and how many sessions I'm getting, and really just try to build upon that and try to pivot within that specific SEO strategy. And then it just comes down to also just EEAT, which is basically experience, expertise, authoritativeness, and trust, and just being consistent. And because just overall, when it comes to the search engines or just LLM model engines as well, frequently published pages and up making posts regularly is a huge factor as well. You don't want outdated pages, and they wouldn't be as at the top of the priority when it's being crawled and stuff. So having frequently updated content pieces will help out a lot. Anyways, if you guys found value in this video, make sure to leave a like. If you have any additional questions, please leave it in the comments below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And if you have a business where you're struggling and you really want more insights when it comes to your overall SEO campaign strategy, there's a link in the description below where you could get a free video audit where I can just break down and give you just free insights for your business into how to really improve your overall SEO structure. And hopefully you guys enjoy this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.